Welcome to the fall semester of Introduction to Sociology. My name is Dr. Brunson, and I'm so glad to have you in this course. I assume that some of you may not know how to use Folio, so let's go ahead and get started. So go to mygsu.edu, and you'll see your list of courses here. And this is where our course is located. First, let's go ahead and just go through the different tabs here. Content is where you will find the syllabus, and all the content for the course. Grades is where you need to check for your grades, and please keep updated throughout the semester. Let me go ahead and switch to student view so you know exactly what to look for. All right. Assessments is where you will find the different assignments, the quizzes, and also written assignments. Communications is where I will post to you any news items, and also you will find a way to email as well. Zoom online rooms are located here, and we will have an option for online Zoom office hours on Fridays. And then, of course, importantly, the calendar. You'll see all the due dates listed here as well. So let's get started with the content. So again, here's what it looks like on your end. You'll see all the different chapters content here, along with the class climate, safety rules, which we'll create on a discussion board. We'll have introduction to inquisitive, and inquisitive is a pre-test you'll see in the syllabus where there's all these different resources here to help you understand the course content. The syllabus is here, and we'll talk about that in more in depth in just a moment, but also know that you'll have a syllabus quiz for this to check your understanding. And then all the different chapters are here. Importantly, within each chapter, you will find, for instance, a video here for the video lesson. So if there's any time that you feel ill or cannot come to class, you'll have an option here. Also, you'll see here information about what prior students have done for their assignments, for examples. So you can see one, do one. I always have prior students' work up here if they approve that I can share it. And then more information on the final project. So from the very start, you know exactly what to do for your final project. And we'll start working on that on week 4 of the semester. And then we have community COVID community resources. So if you live in the Savannah area, you'll see a list here of different resources, and also for you need anything, you need medical care, other types of resources as well. And then this is what the university has in terms of student resources. So if you need a safe space, if you're a person who is LGBTQIA plus identified, there's a whole list of faculty here, and I'm one of them that you can go to if you need support. Also you'll hear about pronouns, so again focusing on gender identity and performance here. If you need to change your preferred name for the syllabus or other things, or for any kind of roster, please go here for more information. And again, just look here for how you are being supported on this campus. All right, let's go more in depth with the syllabus. All right. So as you know, we are meeting on Wednesdays from 11:15 to 12:05. If you are coming to office hours, be sure to, in person that is, and my office is in University Hall 223. Masks must be worn, and office hours are Monday from 2:45 to 3:30. Otherwise, we can meet on Zoom on Fridays at 11:15 to 12:05. And office hours are important for us to get to know each other, and for me to answer any questions you may have regarding assignments, some concepts or theories, or just ask you what you want to do post-graduation. So I'm really there to be a mentor for the students who want to go into graduate school or also go and find careers within sociology. So here's the course description. The purpose of this course is to introduce students to sociological theory and agents of socialization. Contemporary examples will be used to illustrate how sociology is applied in current times. So I want sociology not to only be something you learn in the class, but I want you to be able to understand the world that you live in by using sociological language. All right, course objectives is what you should be learning in the course. Number one, to illustrate how sociological perspectives are used to explain current issues such as deviance and crime, race and ethnicity, and gender. And we have other content as well that we'll learn this semester. Second objective, to emphasize sociology as a science. And there's a whole chapter 2 is about how we use scientific means to understand society. 3, to explore how sociology pertains to your own life. Again, how can we use sociology to understand our worlds and other people in it and ourselves? There's one book required for this class, and I'm going to get it, hopefully without making everything fall down. Okay. All right. And it's brand new edition. Here it is. It's You May Ask Yourself. And I've used this company, Norton, for quite a while. They have great resources, and you'll find that in the inquisitive content tab. And it's very, very important that you get this book, either the physical copy or the ebook. But what you'll need is there should be a silver registration code in your book. You need that registration code so you can do the inquisitive quizzes and also look at the content that they have to help you study. All right, so expectations for the course. As a student, you will critique and assess functions of society. You will explain your point of view. So discussion's a really key component of our course, and being that we're still in the pandemic, there's going to be different ways that we do this. You will work with others cooperatively and collaboratively, and so I'm going to do my best to modify the course, and so to be safe, but also to be really engaging with each other. You'll explore how you would change various aspects of society. So a lot of sociologists like to point out problems, but I like to move forward and think about solutions. How can the solution help more people? How can it help your particular communities? Who would be opposed to those solutions? And important to go out and do sociology. In prior semesters, students would tell me like they can't turn off it anymore. They look at the world a certain way, and so for instance, I examine media and I teach them how to be media literate, and they can't see TV or movies the same way again. And that can be a little annoying if you're just looking at movies for entertainment, but now you can see social messages in it and what it really means. I would like for you to connect concepts and theory to the real world and find solutions, and then communicate often with other students and me. So I want you to be able to share what you want to ask, either on the discussion board. You can email me and I'll always respond. And most importantly, believe that you can succeed. You have to first believe in yourself so that you can move forward. Don't get stuck in your head. And I, as your instructor, will provide tools to help you make critical assessments, explain functions of society. I will encourage a variety of learning styles. And so if you're a visual learner like I am, I have lots of different ways of understanding sociology. I use videos, I do images. Also, we do interactive kind of stuff like interpersonal, so understanding other people's perspectives to help us understand the sociological context more. And I will help you promote exploration of ideas, especially through a Socratic method, which is asking you more questions. Why do you think the way you think? My goal is to always cultivate a safe classroom environment, and so what we'll have for one of our class activities is to develop a class climate rule set. And so we're going to keep each other accountable so that we can be protective, safe, and also grow as beginning sociologists. I will try my best to convince you that you're a citizen of the world, and so that you also have the position to perpetuate inequalities or also to work towards dismantling them. We all have this ability. I will communicate often with you, so check out your email at least once or twice a week. And also, I already know that we're going to have a great semester and that we will be successful. All right, so now we're going to talk about class conduct. Importantly, it's important to just be respectful to one another and to abide by some common courtesy rules. So again, this is sociology. We have different experiences and perspectives, so it's important to be respectful of all opinions, beliefs, and attitudes. Some topics that we'll talk about can be controversial and evoke emotions, but we're here to learn from each other and have a greater understanding of ourselves and each other. Our job is not to debate or to change someone's perspective, but just simply to grow in our own perspectives, to understand that not our views, our experiences are not universal, that someone else can have a different opinion or different experience than we have. And personal attacks and demeaning remarks aimed at individuals or groups will not be tolerated. And so we have to be mindful of just being, again, respectful, being kind. If there is some words that are spoken, I will definitely moderate that and tell you some other words to use. Again, go back to the student resources and look at the appropriate terms to talk about various groups that you identify with or don't identify with. All right, so in-class discussions, again, I'm going to modify this. We may speak in class, we may not, depending on the progress of this COVID pandemic. But I would like for you all to be sure to address the whole class when providing comments or asking questions, and refrain from interjecting when not being called upon. So again, I would suggest to pause, listen to the question or what someone has said, mull it over in your head for a minute, and then speak. That way you're processing how will this sound to someone else. This will give everyone equal chance to speak, as well as making sure everyone's statements are treated in a respectful manner. And regarding food, I do not recommend to bring food into class, especially with COVID. But if you do bring drinks into class, make sure they have a resealable lid. Please do not bring food into the classroom. Noise from wrappers and smells emanating from food may distract other students. And certain types of foods are highly allergic, such as nuts. Please do not bring that to the class. Please turn off all cell phones and pagers. If you must leave cell phones on in case of problems or emergencies related to children or other family concerns, please set them on a vibrate or silent mode, and let me know before class you may be anticipating a call, and please leave the classroom before answering the call. Talking during lectures or discussions, listening to music, and using a cell phone or smartphone will not be tolerated. It is very rude and distracting to other students and me. Refraining from reading other books, newspapers, or doing work for other classes. It makes no sense to be in class if you're not participating and completely available to learn. And as I stated, all these lessons are already online, so it's your choice to come to class and engage in it. If you don't want to engage in class because you have some other things going on, well, watch the lesson from home. It's required to remain in class for the entire period, not to be counted as absent. You can disregard this because I will not be taking attendance this semester because of the pandemic. I don't want you to feel like any pressure to come to class if you are not feeling well, be it physical, be it emotional, be it psychological. If you're not feeling well, if you want me to know, you can always let me know, and I'll help you by pointing you to certain resources that may assist you, but don't come to class if you're not feeling well. Everyone needs time to rest and recuperate. Punctuality is expected. If there's extenuating circumstances that cause you to be late frequently, please inform me early on in the semester. So again, you pick this time, show up on time. Avoid falling asleep in class. I will wake you up and ask you to leave. Again, if you're not feeling well, overly tired, you're sick, just don't come. I want you to be there, of course, to learn the material, but I also want you to be fully present, and I want you to be well so that what you are learning can sit with you a little bit longer and it'll be a more productive class experience if you are, fully engaged. If you need to leave early, please let me know before class. Please sit near the exit and quietly leave when you need to go. And notes will be provided, as you've seen already in the content tab, before the start of each chapter. Please print them. You don't need to print it. Let's save the trees. So you can bring your technology to class. So again, disregard this right here. With COVID and everything, these rules are changing. So especially if you need accommodations, let me know, especially regarding technology. As always, this syllabus is subject to change, especially as we consider the pandemic and how our class may even change moving forward. We have hurricane season coming up, so again, these things will modify. So communicating with the instructor and classmates, communication is vital for success, not only for this class, but for others. There will be a question and answers form on the discussion board. There will be a discussion board post for that. So if you have any questions for me that you think is important for other students to also see the answer to, please post it there. And this can be questions regarding course material, assignments, the learning management system, and online homework. Again, I'll monitor this forum, but you should feel free to post any answers to the other students' questions too, so we're going to help each other. And this will create an FAQ so that we can help each other get through this class successfully. And there's lots of tech support that I want you to know of. First is IT Help Desk. If you have any problems with your technology, please contact them with submitting a ticket. You can call them, and here are the physical locations if you need to do so. To understand technology, here's a student's quick start guide. There's online orientations, library resources. Librarians are the best people. Check them out. If you need to find resources, there are research librarians to help you out. So when you start doing your final project and you need to find scholarly sources, email or instant message to librarians. The Writing Center, go ahead and use them for all the classes that you have. Make an appointment, have your document ready. Be sure to have specific questions you want to ask them to help you with in terms of making your writing better. And citing sources, we'll use the American Sociological Society format. There's a website called Owl at Purdue that can help you cite things in text and also your reference section. And here is also more on how to cite correctly. More resources here. Please use them. Self-help tips. Back up your work frequently. I always have a backup on my Google Drive, and I recommend that you use it too. And be sure to clear your cookies periodically to prevent a decreased response time for your computer. And again, we'll be using technology because the quizzes are online, both the inquisitive quizzes and the chapter quizzes. And here are a whole source of different types of online tools that help you out. And some of them will be really helpful too at the end of the semester when you turn in your final project, which will be a video. Email policy, again, communication is really important. Please follow this etiquette. You should always have the following included in your email to me: the course name, who you are addressing, I'm Professor Dr. Brunson, the question you have, and of course your name. And I will respond to your questions within 24 hours. I do not respond to email after 5 p.m., weekends, or holidays. Be sure to look at the syllabus, the course content, to see if your question has already been answered. In particular, look at the discussion board for, as I set up here, what did I call it? Questions and answer form for that. All right. I'm sorry for your eyes. Due dates and late policies. Everything should be turned into folio. There'll be no physical paper exchanged between us. Be sure to turn everything on by the due date. I do not accept late work. If you have extenuating circumstances, please let me know ahead of time, and we'll devise a catch-up plan. And here are the course requirements. We'll have a syllabus quiz, inquisitive pre-test quizzes, so that comes from that purple book. Chapter post quizzes, which is what you should have learned after the video lesson or in-person engagement. There are 4 movie quizzes, and those are pertaining to how we can pull sociological things from particular movies. There are biweekly reports, and this is to keep you accountable and for me to see your progress with your final project. And your final project, there's several topics you can do. We'll talk about that in just a moment. And of course, contribution discussion points, and so there'll be discussion boards throughout the semester. I'll have 10 of them, and so each one's worth 10 points. I want you to just answer the question, watch a video, and react to that. Apply sociological theory and concepts. There's a final quiz, which is 50 points, which is over all the content of the course that we use as a department to see how our students are doing in our courses. I have a traditional grading scale here, and I do not round up points at the end of the semester. And also, grades are final. If there is a possible mistake on my behalf, such as submitting the incorrect score, I will investigate the matter. If a grade dispute is requested, you may earn or lose additional points. And again, I do not round grades. You must meet the requirements to earn a particular grade. In addition, this is vital for you all. It's not wise for you to ask for extra work during finals week to improve your grade. You should do the regular work and do it well. It is advisable to check your progress throughout the semester and see me during office hours for suggestions on how to improve your grade. So I'm always there to help you improve and make progress. There's no such thing as perfection. You can always progress. Syllabus quiz. A syllabus quiz will be given at the first week of the course. So that's due this upcoming Friday. The syllabus quiz denotes that you have read and understood the requirements of the course. And inquisitive, again, that purple book right here, you need to get it, at least the electronic version, if not the paper copy. And so 8 quizzes will be given. The quizzes consist of multiple choice questions. Materials for this quiz will be taken from the book. Quizzes will be taken on folio before the start of the chapter lesson. This test This test is used to measure what you have learned from the reading the chapter before the lesson is given. It is highly suggested that you review the section of material pertaining to the questions that you missed to increase your understanding and learning. So you can progress through this, continue to play with Inquisitive. There's other resources that help you understand the materials. The quizzes will be timed, the traditional quizzes, that is, the chapter quizzes, to have be sure to have read all the material before starting the quiz. The quiz questions will be randomized. There is a minute possibility that you will have the same quiz as another classmate. In addition, aid from another individual or on quizzes is academic dishonesty, and conviction of academic dishonesty will lead to serious penalties such as failing the course and possible expulsion from the university. So just don't cheat. And your grade is the average score from all the Inquisitive pre-test quizzes. And the post-test, again, these are similar. I have created a test bank that is randomized, so it'll have 10 questions, 20 minutes, unless you have accommodations. And again, I suggest you read all the materials before you start the quiz. Be sure that you do not cheat. All the answers are already in your book. If you have read the chapter, it's really easy to find them. And be sure before you start the quiz that you have a reliable internet connection, because you'll not be able to retake the quiz once it's started. Movie quizzes, so there'll be quizzes or films shown in class. You'll complete a short answer quiz for each film. For each quiz, you'll to pick one question, include one theory in your answer in 100 words or less, and answer the question thoroughly. Follow the instructions very closely. You'll be asked either to bold the concept or theory and underline the paraphrase meaning. So you'll need to know what a theory is. And there's a whole content tab just on theory. And concepts are bolded in yellow in your book. So that should help you, give you a clue as to what a concept or theory is. The final project, this is where a lot of the points are for this course. So you're going to choose one of the topics below and prepare a 7 to 10 minute PowerPoint presentation, or use whatever platform you like. Be sure that you're able to send the file to me. So if it's too big, I probably can't get it. So be sure to be within this time frame. Let's see, be sure to use one sociological theory and 2 concepts throughout your explanation. I want you to be that kind of theorist. Pretend that you are a conflict theorist or a symbolic interactionist, and you're explaining your topic as that expert. And also address each component of the prompt to possibly earn full credit. So I am giving you all the option of doing this as a group, which teams consisting of no more than 3 people, or individually. It's really important for you to be very discerning on who's participating in class, who's participating in the discussion boards, and also your time, and also your other commitments that you have, whether you work as a team or individually. And so here are the different topics. I want you to read this carefully, pick one of them, and ask questions. All right, so again, there's a video presentation, and as you see here, I give rubrics, so you know exactly what I'm looking for. The presentation styling, discussion of topic, incorporation of sociological theory and concepts, and of course, developing a solution, for a total of 100 points. And so you'll also need to have scholarly sources. Again, contact a librarian to find your resources. For online resources, I only accept resources with a .edu or .gov because that has more validity. We know that the credentials can be known from the people who are writing them. You'll also need to create an annotated bibliography, which is a broader type of bibliography where you're explaining what you have read and why it's important for your topic. Okay, so again, include theory, include your concepts, and then your solution. So here are the project tasks. So you're going to break it down into 5 weeks, and I give you some suggestions right here. If you follow these suggestions, you should be right on task by the time you complete your project. So decide on a topic and job responsibilities, especially if you're on a team. If you are a person working individually, I suggest planning backwards. What do you want to accomplish and how do you get there? 2, report individual findings, information organized. And so again, go out and get all those sources, talk about it. How does it fit into your topic? Create the first draft, so your PowerPoint, if you have a transcript to read off, be sure you have that. And of course, revise and practice. Biweekly reports, again, that's a way to keep you accountable. There is a worksheet for that. Be sure to use that format to receive all your points. And contribution discussion points, because discussion is a focal point of this course, either through in-person, we'll see about that, or discussion boards online. We need to talk with each other, expand our perspectives, okay? And here's how we have good disposition, how we speak to each other with respect. So be mindful of this, read it, and be sure to check your own ways of communication. Make sure you're abiding by that. And then the final quiz, again, there's a cumulative quiz for the entire department to see how our students, what our students are learning in sociology intro courses, and if they're grasping the concepts. So be sure to pay attention to the final quiz. And here's more here about critical thinking for discussions. You want to make sure you have distinguished or follow the right side of this chart. All right. So again, a cumulative quiz is happening. Academic integrity, essentially don't cheat. If it's not your words, your idea, cite it. Don't cheat off of people's papers or past people's quizzes. Be sure to demonstrate that you have understood something yourself. So illnesses, please let me know if you're ill so we can catch up your work. Remember though, you can always watch the lessons yourself online, but if you need help with assignments and due dates, please see the Dean of Students or send them an email so they can communicate to me exactly what you need. And here's some more here about COVID. There's a COVID reporting form. Be sure to get tested if you have any symptoms pop up, if you've been exposed to someone with a positive test. And here more information about face coverings in our class. I am highly encouraging you to wear a mask. I will have masks provided if you forget one. But here's what it says. Georgia Southern University encourages faculty, staff, students, and visitors to wear an appropriate face covering while inside campus facilities and buildings where 6 feet of social distancing may not always be possible. This includes classroom spaces. That is not a requirement, but is strongly encouraged, particularly as the semester starts during an increase in COVID cases attributed to the newer Delta variant. And I would prefer you all to wear masks, especially as now children are susceptible to getting infected and getting sick. I have 2 little kids and they're not eligible now to get vaccinations. So vaccinations, COVID-19 vaccinations are encouraged as health professionals agree that this will be the only effective way to defeat the pandemic. Vaccines are offered through the university free of charge, and here's more information about that. All right, if you're a person who lives with a disability or you have academic needs that or accessibility issues, please let me know. And also be sure to contact the Student Access Resource Center. I'm very sensitive to students with learning differences as people in my family have them, and I want to make sure that you are able to be successful and make modifications to ensure that happens. All right, so more about care support. So again, if you have any need regarding the pandemic or COVID, there's a care support team, and you'll need to contact the Georgia Southern University Care Support Center for answers to all your COVID-19 related questions, to self-report your results and symptoms, and to help evaluate your situation. And here's more resources here for how to do that. But again, there's a whole care center to help you with it. And CARES accommodations, so students reporting to CARES will be eligible for makeup for the duration of the time they're required to be away from campus as indicated to the CARES notification. So again, if you need more time because of COVID, please talk to people in the CARES Center. And students should contact me via email at the end of their quarantine date to establish a time to complete and submit all makeup work. And again, importantly, illness, your health is very, very important to me. Just communicate with me so I make sure that you are first well physically so that we can move forward with getting you caught up in class. And campus carry, for more information about weapons on campus, please go to this website. All right, so that's the end of the syllabus. And I want to move forward to maybe talk more about the content tab. All right, I think, yes, so final project, be sure to look for that. The biweekly report right here, so you know where it's at, okay? Inquisitive, Here's all these tools right here. Be sure to use them, okay? So inquisitive right here, so you can take your quizzes. And now moving on to grades. All the grades here are open for you to see, okay? And be sure to check that frequently, actually. I try to get everything graded within 1 week, unless there are some kind of other circumstances that are out of my control, okay? Also important to note is that I can see your progress individually on my end. I will know exactly what tools you have engaged in, how much time you spent on each thing. So that's going to be important for me to help you. So if I see that you're not spending time really into a particular item, I'm going to give you a suggestion to get more focused and engaged in stuff. So assessments, here is the Dropbox where all written assignments are. And also with those things, you'll see instructions, and if it's not already in, and it should be already in the syllabus as well. Here are the quizzes, and you'll see them here, and of course the due dates that go with them. A quiz that you should be finished up with are two by the end of this week. One is the verification for attendance quiz, and also the syllabus quiz. Okay. Communication, again, discussion boards here, and also the news tab. And I linked in the news tab our Zoom office hours on Fridays during our regular class time. I also have just here, right here, my major goals aside from sharing content is to, one, prioritize your health and well-being, direct you to resources that assist you in making choices to stay healthy, and introduce you to sociology as a tool for you to understand how society functions and how you can be an agent of change because of this understanding. Okay, and let's move on to the Zoom room. The link again will be posted here. And then of course, calendar. All the due dates, you'll see little buttons here. Those will also give you another tip as to where to find due dates. So you have, of course, in class, you'll have the calendar, and then you have the assessments tools to show you when things are due. And all the assignments thus far do have due dates already attached to them. They are subject to change depending on the flow of our course, and also anything that we do not have control of, like hurricanes and the pandemic. All right, so what I would like for you guys to do is, of course, I'll put in a discussion board any questions or comments you may have. Just note that if you watch this video and you do not feel comfortable right now going to class physically, or there's some other reason you don't want to, you do not have to go to class on Wednesday. But I would love for you to, of course, make that choice for yourself. Attendance is not going to be counted towards a grade. So I'm not pushing you out of the class. I just want you to be able to make your own choices, especially with the pandemic. Again, if you have any questions, please email me, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.